Another Brick fan with a BrickHeadz set. This is Disney 100th Celebration. This is set 40622. It was released in January 2023. It has 501 pieces and cost about $40 when it was released. This is one of several Disney BrickHeadz sets released in 2023, and it is a celebration of Disney's 100th anniversary. It includes 4 BrickHeadz, all very classic Disney characters, starting with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Mickey, Snow White, and Tinkerbell. Oswald was Walt Disney's first animated character, and Mickey is in the Steamboat Willie style. So let's go ahead and get these built and take a look at the finished BrickHeadz. Here are our 4 characters in their numerical order. So we have Oswald here, then Mickey Mouse as Steamboat Willie, Snow White, and then Tinkerbell. I think all of these turned out quite well, and let's go ahead and take a closer look at them, starting with Oswald. Here's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and you can certainly see the resemblance between him and Mickey Mouse. This was, of course, Walt Disney's first animated character. He's all black here with the big ears. He has this white face with these kind of expressive eyebrows. Then the nose kind of in the center. He's wearing blue pants in this case. One thing about the 100th anniversary Disney BrickHead bases is they're done with these silver 1x4 tiles. Normally these would be black. So that's a nice little change, kind of a tribute, I guess, to the 100th anniversary of Disney. But as you can see, Oswald is relatively plain. There's just these tiles all around. There is a little cottontail, although it's done in black and not white. Good color for his pants all the way around here. I thought that turned out nicely. Standard BrickHead hands there and arms. So that went pretty well. So relatively basic BrickHead, although it does represent the character well. The ears, of course, are on clips, so you can move them around. You could even rotate them if you wanted to have the ears facing the same direction or different directions. Just depends on how you want to do it. I believe the instructions just showed them sloped in this way. So that does allow you to do a little bit of expression with this particular BrickHead. Next up, we have Mickey Mouse. Mickey is in pure black and white here. He's wearing this big cap, which represents, which shows him off as Steamboat Willie, which was his first animated feature. His face is very similar to Oswald in the sense that it's got these kind of eyebrows or curves up above the tiles here. His mouth is different. So his nose is lower, and then he has more white here around his cheeks. So if you turn, you see that white continues around his cheeks. They're using these plate pieces for Mickey's ears, which I think is a pretty nice way to do that. They're just clipped in there with clip pieces. You can also see a couple of buttons there on his shorts. Now, of course, I think he has red pants with the white buttons, kind of in his newer incarnations. He does have big feet here, which I thought was good. Again, with white shoes or boots or something on him, white feet. Moving around, again, just plain tiling here on the side, just a standard BrickHead arm. He does have a whip piece to use as his tail. Smooth back here. There is a few exposed studs on top here. You can see the back of the plates or plate pieces, like maybe a small bowl or plate here in the back, not a plate like a Lego plate. You get the idea. Anyway, and then once again, the other side is just done in this smooth fashion as well. So there we have Mickey Mouse. Here we have Snow White in this very nice blue and yellow dress. She has a red bow in her hair. Her hair is not quite as elaborate as you see in a lot of the female BrickHeads, but it is nicely styled and does look accurate for the character. There are a couple of printed pieces, 3 of them, in fact. There's one here for the center of her dress, kind of shows the neckline there and maybe on a seam or something like that down the middle. And then on the side, she has this lighter blue piece to represent big shoulder pads or shoulders with some prints on those as well. You can see she has this big white collar as well. It sticks out. There's a couple of angled pieces here in the back. Hair is nice and smooth all the way around, no exposed studs. The back is kind of plain, but we do see that nice dress formed, so all 4 sides have that kind of slope look for the dress. Another one of these side pieces for the shoulder pad makes a kind of a big shoulder, comes out over her arms there. Just a plain face, no printing on the face or anything, just the standard tiling, although she does have her bangs that come down across the top of her forehead there. I think this turned out pretty good as a Snow White character. Again, one of Walt Disney's early full-length feature movies. Finally, we have Tinkerbell. I think Tinkerbell turned out really nicely. I love these prints here. Kind of like the skirt look here. It's flared out here with some angled pieces. If you look down, her feet it looks like she's wearing these little slippers with a white dot on the front. So that, I think, turned out pretty nicely as well. Looking along the side, you see the nice hair in this light yellow for this blonde look. Her wings are done with these transparent Nexonite shields in this light blue, and they do move just a little bit so that you could get a little bit of motion out of those. They're just connected with clip pieces here in the back. More of these printed tiles. There are the Nexonite shields here for her skirt. You can see the silver down here, which are common with all of these BrickHeads on the base plate. Both sides are done the same. You can see those angles that are done for that skirt that she's wearing. One of my observations about Tinkerbell here is that she is a full-size BrickHead. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it looks very good. It's just, if you think about her in the movie, she was a very small character. So maybe a half-size BrickHead would have been more appropriate, although you might not have gotten as much detail as you did with a full-size BrickHead. So just a minor criticism, I suppose. Let's go back and take a look at all of these BrickHeads together, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Overall, a nice collection of BrickHeads. I think they captured some very nice, iconic characters from Disney. You had to have Mickey Mouse, of course, and having him dressed up as Steamboat Willie makes sense because that was his first appearance. Oswald was the first animated character from Walt Disney. Snow White, I'm not sure if it was the very first feature-length movie from Disney, but it was certainly one of the earliest ones, so that makes a lot of sense. And Peter Pan is a very iconic movie for Disney, so having a character from the Peter Pan movie, in this case Tinkerbell, was certainly nice. They did a balance with male and female characters. Overall, just a really nice collector's set. I like the extra touch of adding the silver to the base plates for these particular BrickHeadz, and since it is an anniversary celebration, I think these are going to fit in really well with a lot of the other BrickHeadz we've seen from all kinds of movies, from the Pixar movies to classic Disney movies like Beauty and the Beast, for example. They did come out with new ones this year with some Disney villains and princesses. So like we had WALL-E and Moana, Merida from Brave, and then a couple of villains with Cruella de Vil and Maleficent. So it was really nice to get a variety of Disney characters this year and in the past. So if you count in Star Wars and Disney, I would say close to half the BrickHeadz are probably represented by some kind of Disney property between Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney characters. Lots of the BrickHeadz come from Disney in some way, shape, or form. This set cost $40, which is $10 per BrickHeadz, which is the same price BrickHeadz have been since this theme was introduced. Very nice to see that these did not go up in price, and I still find them very collectible. They look really good on display, and they're really nice to get. So I'm going to continue to be getting these BrickHeadz, and I'm glad that this theme has continued on. And I think there's many, many more they can do. I believe the 200th BrickHeadz is being released this year. I think it's the Minecraft Llama. So as soon as I get my hands on that, I will get a review done. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on these BrickHeadz. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to see more of my LEGO reviews. I've left a link to my Disney and BrickHeadz playlists up here on the screen.